If your son is aware of the prayers and he prays by himself correctly, so he makes proper wudu, and he's aware of the ahkam of istinja, washing off after answering the call of nature, cleaning up himself, and you are, as a mother, you're the best one to tell. And whenever he prays properly. Can he lead me in the prayer and would that count as jama'ah? Yes. The answer is yes. And those who say he cannot be compared to Amr ibn Salama, it's like, before I say the hadith, and Amr ibn Salama was 6 or 7 years old when he led the prayer because he knew more Quran than others, and so on. You tell me, what is the difference? As a matter of fact, kids nowadays know a lot more than their parents. And if I have any problem with any of my technology, my watch, my apps, my computers, my pages, we all know that our kids will be the best to solve these problems. So we trust them with the dunya matters, and we know that they can write perfect articles and draw nice pictures, and they can drive. When it comes to the deen, we keep them inferior. When I was a child, I used to go to the prayer very early, before anyone. I love to call adhan because of the hadith and so on. But there were certain people who would always put us down. And when they see the kids in the masjid, they get very irritated. So they would kick us out of the masjid. And even when I became 12 years old, now I know most of the Quran by heart. I'm perfect in tajweed. And when I stand in the first row, so somebody would come late and pick me up and say, back, and send me back. I want to tell you that those people are idiots. Because this is not religious, number one. And number two, you never know. Maybe that kid whom you kicked out of the masjid will never come back to it. Or you kicked out of the first row and you said, back, like he's inferior. He may take it personal and hate the deen and hate Allah. What kind of religion is this? And it's not religious whatsoever. The person who used to kick us out doesn't know how to read Quran. I'm not saying that he doesn't know by heart. Doesn't know how to read Quran. So the answer is, yes, Amr ibn Salama was very young. They said around the age of 7. And in the hadith, they used to tell him, cover up your awrah, because he was a kid. Cover up your awrah, because his shirt was very short. So he was a kid. But he knows how to recite Quran very well. And they didn't, because they were fairly new to Islam. But he, before accepting Islam, he came to memorize a few surahs. So he was the most learned out of his people. So the Prophet, peace be upon him, permitted him to lead them in the prayer. If your son knows how to recite Quran properly and he prays properly, do not pray by yourself. Have him as your imam. Encourage your children to be leaders. وَجَعَلْنَا لِلْمُتَّقِينَ إِمَامًا. Even if he doesn't know how to pray, then ask him to lead the prayer with the rest of his siblings who are younger than him. Okay? But if he is perfect in the prayer, we can even appoint him in the masjid if he's a hafiz to lead the Taraweeh prayer. It is okay. May Allah guide us to what is best.